So actually my favorite memory of Sister Beth was probably in Texas. I'm from San Antonio, and Sister Beth came down traveling with the women's basketball team. She's a friend of my godmother and my grandparents, so we took her out to dinner, and she was just telling me about this great school and how they had this program that she thought would be amazing for me, and she just set it all up, got me a job here on campus to work for her so that I could go to college and work while I went to school, and it was just kind of set my whole life in motion, and I really owe so much to her. I love you and I owe you everything, so thank you so much. I really hope she gets to take on a leadership position, with her order, and, kind of show her abilities and gifts back in Buffalo again. So I'm really excited to see what she gets to do there now. Definitely over 20 years, I would say. Not sure the exact number. It's a lot. Oh my gosh. I'm pretty sure there's these chocolate chip ones that have like sea salt caramel on it. It's amazing. Thank you, Sister Beth.
I have a lot of memories and stories about Sister Beth, but I guess what I would like to share is that I cannot imagine this place without you, Sister Beth. I look back on my time as a student here, and I spent so much time in the ministry office doing retreats and going on alternative spring break trips with you, and I consider myself one of the lucky ones to have known you and to work beside you and to see your love and your passion at work. It's inspiring, and since graduating I come back every so often, and my first stop is the ministry office. I always want to visit you, sit on the couches, relax, have some candy, and get a big hug from you, because when I look back, you are a huge part of my experience. I think about all the professors and the books and the classes, and that all makes this campus a university, but you, Sister Beth, make this place a home for me. We'll miss you a lot, and we wish you the best in the days ahead, and thank you so much for everything. I know it's more than how old I am, so I would have to say like 35, 36, maybe 37 years. I don't think it's 40, but somewhere in the 30 range. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, the sea salt caramel chocolate chip. I swear to God. Even my dad loves those, and she made a batch for him like last year, and it was amazing.
Hi there, Sister Beth. John is sorry he can't be with me today. He's home eating some of those chocolate chip cookies that you make for him. You can see I'm in Callahan Hall, a place that you spent many, many hours watching our women's basketball games, and also the fellas. I know you'll miss it, but you can come back anytime, and if the times get bad, we can always suit you and I up to play for the women. How's that go? It's been wonderful to have you for a friend. You and I believe in the Lord, and we have had very good experiences here at Callahan. We know that you're going to continue on at your religious order of St. Joseph, doing things that the order needs you to do. And if it's fundraising, we know that you will do a wonderful job in it. If it isn't fundraising, whatever the order asks you to do, we know you will do. I think about 34. Okay, well, I knew it was over 30. She makes these big, huge chocolate chip cookies for John all the time. So that is I never eat them, but he loves them. We are going to miss you very, very much. We love you. God bless you.
My favorite memories with Sister Beth would have to be right before the games. Every game, she came in the locker room and she would pray, and we'd have a circle, and everybody was in their same spot every trip. And I was always right next to Sister Beth. What she mean to me? That's my lady. She blessed. I love her. I mean, you know, it's gonna be like, what? I'm at school and not seeing Sister Beth. That's gonna be a little different, you know what I'm saying? But in your journey, just trust God as always and be blessed. Just stay. Do you. Be yourself. She know who she is. Sister Beth, I love you. You know how we rock. Wasn't it? I know it's over 30. Closer to 40. 33? Okay. I knew it was over 30. I was close. Them oatmeal raisins, what you mean? I'll be all over them oatmeal raisins.
Beth and I gradually figured out about our friendship over a long time. Was something that we began to say, we are favor asking friends. And what we meant by that was you could ask the other friend anything. Can you get up at 4 a.m. and get me to the airport? You know, anything. Knowing that sometimes your friend can't do it, and that's fine. There's no penalty for asking. And so you get a remarkably relaxed relationship year in and year out. We saw the metropolitan area the same way, more or less. We saw the university the same way, more or less. We both understood that working with students was sacred, and that we both heard a lot of stories from students, some of which were awful stories, frightening stories, and some of which were playful stories, and some of which were silly stories, and some were foolish stories. So we listened to students. And I would say that's the main thing that Beth and I have in common. We listened to students for all these years. We listened to students. Well, Beth, I'm going to miss you terribly. And I know you're going to miss us also. So I suppose one thing I want to say is treat this journey that you're on, the one starting in another month and a half, treat it as sacred also. There's never been anyone that worked here that I know of who was more accessible to more students than Beth. When you live for 32 years or something like that in a residence suite, 2 rooms, a little bitty bathroom, where you wash your dishes in a little sink like that, where you have no stove, where, and you do it because students learn very quickly. They can knock at your door any time of the day or night. They can tell you funny, happy stories. They can tell you deeply embarrassing stories. Students knew they could tell their stories to Beth, up to this day. I think it's 33, but I may be off by a year. Yeah, that's what I would have guessed. Oh, that's easy. My mother made a really wonderful chopped apple cake. So it's kind of a cinnamony thing. I don't know if you ever had it, but and it was a plate cake. It was about this. It didn't have frosting on it. It was apples and nutmeg and stuff like that. Well, one time about 4 years ago, no, that's more than that now. I'm going to say 15 years ago, we were going to my birthday party at our good friends Gail and David Burnett, who live about 12 miles from here. And we got there, and she had called my sister Mary, who lives in Wisconsin, to get my mother's chopped apple cake recipe rather than her chocolate apple cake. She makes her own kind of chopped apple cake. So she was going out of her way to make sure this was my kind of chopped apple cake. Those are very Beth things.